we had invaded in June 6th, as I remember, and I'd gone through the invasion process. And I'd gone to 3 different places by August 1944. And at 1945, I was at a place called Rennes, which was about 120 miles south of the beachheads. And I was flying P-51s or Mustangs. And one day I was walking to my aircraft and I suddenly found a Spitfire standing next door to it, a rather strange Spitfire. Now, seeing a Spitfire standing next door to my own aircraft in the American sector, as I've described, as rather like coming across a camel in the middle of Trafalgar Square. Nobody had ever seen a Spitfire before. And it had landed there because it was having trouble. And it was left there. And it eventually turned out to belong to a Dutch squadron, 322 squadron. And it was, to all intents and purposes, anonymous. It had the numbers painted out. And anyway, we mended the aircraft in the sense that we cured the problem. I flew it a few times, and then we moved forward with the army and went from Rennes to Le Mans. And we were suddenly faced with the prospect of either taking the Spitfire with us or leaving it there to be ravaged by the local French population, and it probably ended up in somebody's backyard or farmyard. So I took it with me to Le Mans eventually, and that was the beginning of an association of that Spitfire for just about a year, in which I flew it for over 120 hours, until I still had it when the war ended, or the German war ended in May 1945, and indeed the Japanese war ended in August. And of course came the point when I went back to the Air Force, I had to get rid of it, and I couldn't. And I went around the Air Force trying to find somebody who would take it off my hands, and I couldn't. It was very difficult to get rid of. I even thought of bailing out of it over the channel and disappear, and having it taken out of my grasp in that sort of way, but fortunately I had second thoughts about that. But eventually it was got rid of, and thereby hangs a tale, which I'm not going to tell you about because it's the subject to be revealed in my book.